Hello everyone, welcome to I'd Back That Kickstarter with Gloryhoundd.
DrGloryHogg.
And
Not Greg Dixon.
not Greg Dixon.
Again.
Yeah. So we were going to record this and Greg thought that we were going to record it during the daytime and that didn't work out.
Forgot that I have a job.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
that was a shame. But
Eh,
at least we're getting to record
I'll
it.
see him tomorrow.
At least we're getting to record it because I'm going to be at FnordCon starting pretty much tomorrow. Flying into Austin
I
and
feel like you need like a Viking horn for that, like Nordcon.
I don't do Viking horns, no.
Nord?
No.
Nord?
No.
I have
I
a
don't
Viking
think that's
horn.
how that works.
Do you
I
want me
don't
to
think
get one?
that's not the type of Fnord you're like
I don't know. Do you want me to
thinking
go get one?
of.
I'm not thinking of a fjord. Do you want me to get a Viking horn right now? I'll go get one.
No. If we have to stop this thing again for you to get a stupid Viking horn, like that's it. Canceling the show.
It's like twice now.
That's it.
We gotta stop this for you to get another Viking horn.
All right, so you guys should be doing a live watch party right now. I feel like we need to make up some sort of game. Like every time DrGloryHogg mispronounces something, everybody says noob in the chat. I don't know. No?
That just sounds like ridicule. That doesn't sound like a game. That's just some people ridiculing me for not knowing how to speak proper.
Hey, what are those things? Like, they're like catapults, and then like they shoot things over and stuff. What are those?
Trebuchet.
Oh, are they now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you know. I know you know that now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on.
Oh yeah.
Let's get this
Try to
started.
trap me.
Let's get this started. I tried really hard, you guys. I'll make sure to show you all the cool words he doesn't know how to say, because it's hilarious.
You want to
and
see her
awesome.
spell?
All at the same time. Everybody knows about my spelling. My spelling's out there in the world.
It's pretty
Like, yeah, it happens all the time.
bad. It's pretty for real bad.
All right, so first up we have Blume. This is by Yanaguana.
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 Feel
It's
like
for 2 to 4 players for 20 to 40 minutes. And it's all about flowers. I feel like there's a lot of flower things coming up.
It's spring. There's like 4 flower Kickstarters going right now.
Yeah, we saw another Kickstarter, and then I
Another
know there was one that just launched that has to do with flowers and butterflies, which we're going to be talking about
Oh, that's
on the
true.
next show.
I would say though
but
that one is more. The colossal one is definitely more. I mean, there's flowers in it, but it's not like flower based.
What's the name of that game again?
Papillon. How do you like me now?
Did you rehearse before we
No.
started?
Gosh.
All right, so this is got by what is it, Michael Britt, I think, right?
Yes.
And somebody else, I don't know.
Steve Torres.
But what do you think? First off, well, what do you think of the game?
It's actually pretty interesting because you start off kind of like with this like a 3x3, and then the next round it gets bigger, and the next round it gets bigger, and then you've got to stop in the middle and actually like prune and take some of your tiles away, like in between rounds. So there's a lot of like different things going on here. Where
That's
you're not
just for
laying out
people that
tiles.
mess up. Like
Right.
gives them leeway for messing up.
Wow, I guess that's one way to think about it. They say you prune so that other flowers can grow in its place.
Yeah, I think the pruning is more like so that you have more rounds and more actions and stuff like that, probably overall, like just mechanics wise and stuff like that.
Oh, I don't know.
It is a heavy puzzle game, though,
for
guys. So if
noobs,
you
I
really
guess.
like puzzles and stuff like that, this seems like a really good game. And I like puzzles.
Yeah, it's like tile laying games.
I like the fact that you're trying to build hybrid flowers as well as regular flowers over watering can areas. And I think that's really interesting because you have like 2 different things that you're trying to do at the same time that are not always going to fit. So if you have a 3x3 square and you're trying to get watering cans, your flowers on certain watering cans, as well as hybrids, like you're really, really going to be trying very hard to place those petals like in the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
that's why you need to prune. Get it done. Prune it out.
guys.
Prune.
Overall, the flower market. What do you think about the flower market with this?
It's interesting because you get to manipulate it by like taking things down or moving them up.
I like
And
when you
and
take
also
other
have your
people's
own-
things down. That's awesome. Max out your flowers, guys, and wreck everybody's game. I'm sorry. I feel a little aggressive
She only
gameplay
gets-
coming on.
She only gets like excited when she's like talking about like ruining somebody else's day. I'm glad that that finally got you back in the moment.
Hey, listen, that's how you win games, okay? You win games by wrecking other people's games,
ask her about
okay?
the last flower game we played. Arboretum?
Technically, that's a tree game.
Oh,
Totally
okay.
different.
But
Totally
it
different.
was really good, though, when I wrecked your game, though, right?
Totally different. I don't remember that at all.
You don't. You're such a
No,
liar.
I don't remember.
You got so
That
mad
didn't
and
happen.
salty.
No.
You, like, salted the earth.
No. All right, so I really like the mechanics in this game. I think those are pretty awesome. What else? Though you were saying, though, that there aren't a bunch of reasons why to back this right now on Kickstarter. Like, they're
Wow,
not
way to call
offering...
me out. You're just calling
Well,
me
they're
out all
not
over the place.
offering a whole bunch of extra Kickstarter stuff.
Right, so there's some stuff, definitely. But it didn't seem like there was a whole bunch to make it so you have to back this on Kickstarter necessarily.
Aw, Andrew Toth's favorite flower is the violet. Aw. And Steve-O Torres, like, is he from, like, Arizona? Why does he have a
You've
yucca?
met him.
Oh, dang it. I'm so bad with faces and names.
He's the one we were playing with at PAX South. Oh, my gosh.
Did I really?
Yeah, we had
Who
dinner
was I
with
playing?
him.
What? I
Yeah,
don't remember that. When did
dinner
I
with
have
him
dinner
and His
with
partner,
him? I don't remember that.
James,
What?
was there. We played his prototype. It was zombies. Had a little roll and write going on.
Oh,
my
I love that
God.
game. It's so good.
She must have liked it so much she just wiped his face out of her memory.
To be fair, that does not look like him. That is like a whole different light. I feel like he has darker hair than that. He looks like kind of blondish in this picture. I'm sure everybody's like, they can't fully see the picture. See, look at guys. Look, okay?
She's met him.
You know,
Awkward.
I apologize
like, a
in
whole
advance
night.
for everybody that I always forget your name,
I think we played
or I'm
Skull
like,
King.
who are you?
We
Like,
played
I
his roll and
completely
write 4 or
forget.
5 times. It's
Well,
cool.
dude, I like his work. He's got good work. I'm excited about that.
I like his
He's
work.
the
Not his
graphic
face.
designer and the illustrator. Well, you know, I think that since this game is priced at really only, what is it, $29?
Yeah, it's actually very inexpensive.
I feel like that's a win. Like $29.
And
When's
it's
the last
got-
time I paid $29 for a game that's like highly strategic like this? Like, I mean, this seems like a huge bargain.
I think the last time we played that much was like something like Lanterns or something, which is kind of in that similar. I feel like it's probably
Same
that
sort of
similar
territory.
way, except with this one having the flower market and then your own personal board is probably going to be more complex than just the Lanterns.
Right, because you can influence
it's
what other
fairly-
people are doing, you know,
Right.
in the long game. Because guys, you
Guys.
score this by
Guys.
what your level is on the market. So it's like the market number times what you have and stuff with that. So, I mean, the market's huge in this game. It's not like just something on the side. Yeah, I mean, would you back this game, Dr. Gloryhogg?
I think this is more up your alley than mine, so I wouldn't be surprised if you backed it,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't necessarily. Yeah, probably not. I just don't like puzzly games as much as you do.
Yeah, I'm really digging this.
I'm less
like,
into puzzly games.
I'm really digging this. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's Daniel. Hey, what's up, Daniel? There, does that make you feel like we're doing it live? Oh, it's Ben.
No, I was gonna go ahead and
What's up, Vincent?
I was gonna type in the chat here, and then you were like, "No, don't be such a noob." And then I said, "No,
'Cause you
Dr.
were just
Gloryhogg is a
typing while I
noob."
watched you.
Yeah,
It
well,
was
you know,
weird and
whatevs,
awkward.
whatevs. Yeah, no, I'm gonna
Yeah,
say,
sorry, Greg's not here today, guys. See there, it's like we're doing
you know,
live chat.
but we could speak for Greg. You know, I'd have to try it before I buy it.
That's every time.
Actually, you know what? This is a game that would probably be in his area because that $29 mark,
he would
and
say,
it's puzzly.
I gotta
so,
talk to my wife.
oh,
but
that's the second way he
yeah,
gets
that's
out
his
of
second
things.
excuse. I gotta talk to my wife. But if she's on board, I'm on board.
I gotta try it before I buy it, and then I gotta talk to my wife, and maybe after that we'll be on board.
CPA says I got funds. I'm as long as it's okay with my daughters, then I should be good to buy
Aw,
this one.
see, I'm missing Greg today. Like, jeez. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say I'd back this game. I think for $29, this is steal. It sounds
Yeah.
like a really fantastic puzzle style game. I love the competitiveness of the market, so then you're not just concentrating on your boards overall and that there's no like player interaction, because sometimes
That's
with these
true.
games you do end up just getting solely focused on what you're doing, and it's like, wow, did I even play a game with people today? No, doing that market influence there is really going to change that and make it attractive to play with other players as opposed just by yourself. So that's really cool. Yeah, I'm down
Makes
with
sense.
that. I'd say I'd back this.
Yeah, I figure you'd be
29
backing
bucks?
it, so I don't
Heck
even need to.
yeah. Heck yeah. All right, moving on. We have Oceans. This is by North Star Games. It is for 2 to 6 players, and it lasts for about 45 to 100 minutes. This is not an expansion to Evolution.
No,
it's
it's
like
a
its own base
standalone.
game. Yeah, it's its own standalone game
But I
with
feel like
apparently the coolest
It's
shark ever.
it's an
Apparently,
evolution of evolution.
no. A tribal shark, like he's a bro shark. No,
It's the evolution of evolution. So this is kind of what you say that you always like.
I'm
is when
just
a game
saying.
company goes and they actually like kind of refine what they've been working on and kind of like update it, like they did with Euphoria or they do with games that have been put out 10 years past.
and then
Evolution's
makes it
been
more
out for-
terrifying.
Evolution's been out for a while now, and I think it's really cool that they're like, let's do a new standalone game, start fresh, and then pick something like the ocean, which has so many crazy things in it, like more so than on the land.
I'm
Like,
gonna evolve my shark and give him smarts.
yeah, you can do that. Just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, this is where it gets freaky, guys. Close your eyes.
just like
Close your eyes if you don't like tentacles. Okay.
I forgot. She's anti-tentacle.
I am anti-cephalopod, guys. Like
It's messed
those
up.
things are creepy. They're very intelligent. I'm not down with that. I'm not down with the ocean overall.
Squids have alien DNA. Look it up.
They do.
It's
They
not from
do.
this planet.
Their DNA is so different from anything else on this earth that
Considered
it's
alien.
considered alien. So they think that like
Their
a-
eyes are better than ours too.
meteor had crashed into the planet or something like that, then spurring like the evolution
Its
and DNA
own
and all that stuff. Yeah.
evolution.
So yeah, look it up. It's freaky, guys. This is why I don't like the ocean. It's horrible.
And they got parrot beaks inside. And they'll just
Yeah,
tear
yeah.
you up.
Nobody wants that.
And pound for pound, they're just all muscle. It's not good.
Don't they have like
will
hooks in
mess
their
you
tentacles
up.
too?
Some of them do.
Who? Why?
Cats.
Why?
Cats. Here's the softest, fluffy
They're
finger with razor blades
They're
for fingers.
lovely little murder
So are
balls.
cephalopods.
They're so cute.
They're
No,
good.
no,
An
no, no. They're
octopus would
squishy.
give the best hugs. 8
No,
arms of love.
no, no.
Yes. So I've only played Evolution. I played it. I played it maybe at this Phoenix Comic Con. It was years ago. It was still in a prototype.
Yeah.
I don't think it was even signed on with North Star Games at that point. I think it was just the designer, and I really enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't enjoy about it is my good buddy made some wrong choices, and I was basically like, you couldn't get to my guys. I forget what I did. I think they were like flying carnivores. It was pretty bad. But you couldn't get to my guys, and then he got like really salty and mad and like almost stormed away from the table because
Well, he was like
I was winning by like so much.
one herbivore at a table of carnivores at that point.
Yeah,
or
I think
something.
he's like, well, I'm a high climbing herbivore, and I was like, cool, I can fly now, and he was like, son of a, and he was out. He was so mad, so mad. I haven't gotten to play it since. Like, I just haven't gotten to play Evolution.
I'm
since.
protected now. You can't. Oh, dang
I'm
it!
excited by the fact
Dang
this
it.
is like the third iteration. It's like they've done a mobile app version of Evolution now. This is its own another standalone game, and I'm really excited about
Also,
it being in the ocean.
You could use Swedish fish, those colored ones, and throw
Oh,
them in
that's
there,
true.
and then eat them, and it would be delicious, guys.
Okay, that is legit. That's a
I'm
good
I'm just telling
Finally,
you.
finally,
Yeah.
something good from her. That's actually a pretty good idea.
You
I
put
could
them
see
on your
doing
little
that.
scorecard,
Yeah.
and then you're like,
Oh,
Last
last 10 points. Worth
dang
it.
it.
Worth it. I'm excited about this. I like what they did with how they have the standard edition with just like kind of like your cardboard fish, but at a cheaper price. And then you got your deluxe with like the acrylic fish and stuff. This is one I'm interested in backing because it seems like it comes with extra cards if you back it. There's enough stretch goals unlocked that I think if you're going to buy this game, it's best to back it because there's enough extra stuff.
Yeah.
And they even straight up said, if you want this card in the future, you can buy it, but it's going to be like $2 a card or $3 a card or $15 for these 3 promos.
Okay, and they're offering, I believe, the art on here, and this art is really pretty. Even
Yeah,
though I
you can
hate
buy
the
it.
ocean and it's terrible, and I'm
Yeah,
never
you can
going in
get-
there.
you can buy
but this is
prints.
beautiful.
You can buy the cover prints for like $3,000.
I want these fish right here.
'cause
These
it's the
fish
o-
are really
the original.
sweet. I'd put these fish up in like
I can make
my
that with
room.
Swedish fish. Just by pouring them
no.
on
Then you
paper.
just eat them. Like
Yeah, I would.
what the heck?
Would. Look at that. Oh, look at those cuttlefish. Those
No.
cuttlefish
Well,
will
at
mess
least
you
cuttlefish
up.
are freaking small. I guess they're super
Yeah,
cute.
they're not. They'll rip your mask off.
This guy
They're
is not
strong.
cool right here. No,
Wouldn't
no,
mess
no,
with
no, no,
cuttlefish.
no, no, no. And then Bro Shark
Yeah.
here,
Listen. He's
he
a
like
ni-
comes out of the water. He's like, bro,
He's
bro,
got-
do you
he's got-
even lift?
he's
Do you
got-
even lift, bro?
He's got frosted fins. He's hanging out the Scottsdale bars. Hanging out and
I don't think that everybody knows what the Scottsdale bars are, okay?
Yeah, Scottsdale bars are where frosted tip
There's a
dudes
song
still
about
reign.
it, I think. So, yeah, go look that up, guys. I like how we're giving them all useful tips and information to look up later.
It's true.
Well,
I'm actually excited about this one, though. I'm in. I
this
want
is
this one. This
a
is my top
very,
pick.
this is a very, very take that sort of game. So
No, it's not, because you're building your own thing. And you can just have
there's
to adapt.
literally a phase to eat people's stuff.
If they're dumb enough to be eaten. That's their bad. I like this one, though, because there's the two versions, right? You've got the on top, like your upper water, and then your lower water with the dark. So it kind of feels like you've got different areas
Look
that
at
you're
you
playing in.
strangling that poor fish. Guys, look.
But there's also,
Right there.
they talk about how, like, you can be like an aggressive hunter, or you can be like camouflaged, or you can get away with it by being like electric, or by being like a lamprey and hanging off of somebody, or you can be a whale and just like come and just like swallow up a bunch of krill. So I'm really interested to see how that actually plays out, where if you're a whale, then the shark can't do anything to you. So you're like, I don't care.
Even this guy is sad about being in the ocean right now. See?
He's not sad.
He
I'm
is. Look
so
at his
glad you
face.
stopped,
Look at
like,
his face.
my actual useful conversation to be like, hey, look at this fish. He looks sad. I wish that was a real fish and I would throw it at you.
Wow.
Because you're so afraid
As
of
long as it was a
tentacles.
Swedish fish. No.
Is she getting paid by them? Look at that thing.
We need to be. Like, I'd be down. They're like, do you want your money or in burritos or Swedish fish? Both, please. No.
Is this one that you would back?
I'm going to have to say no. No, this is not one that I'd back.
And is that just because you feel like it's going to be too light?
Yeah, it just doesn't have a lot of the mechanics that me as, like, I don't know. I just don't like the mechanics in it. So it is a super take that sort of game. So you're going to be running around trying to like eat different people's stuff and everything. So if I have a game plan going on, somebody jacks up my animal, I'm going to be like super angry pants. And
See, I don't see it as a take that. I see it as kind of like a one-up, because you're just...
two, I don't like the theme because I hate the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
You hate the ocean like all
Look
together?
look, asteroid impact. Species lose 3 population to your reef. That's sad.
Well, those are some different events that can happen.
I don't think it's going to be a bad game. I think that they did a really good job with the fish in this. I like how they have the different pools where you're moving the fish into the different areas and stuff like that. I really enjoy that portion of it. I like how if you go heavy carnivore and stuff like that, you do get somewhat penalized in the fact that you're trying to, well, you have to feed them every time.
Right.
You know, so like those points, those are supposed to be points that you're supposed to be getting, and then you're also expending on
Right.
your carnivore
And you
and
can
stuff
technically
like
only
that.
have only
or
so
your
many carnivores.
fish
You
eater
can't
or whatever
have, like,
it is.
1,000 sharks, right? You can have 1,000 fish that school up. You can't have 1,000 sharks because you couldn't feed them all.
I like how they did do the artwork, though. The artwork, although somewhat terrifying, is also still pretty cool. Like, they did it in watercolor and stuff, and it adds a nice look to the game that says, hey, you know, like, this is the ocean, and, like, the colors blend together and everything. It looks very pretty.
I bet you change your mind if you played it.
You think so?
Yep, that's my estimation. This is one that I would definitely back. I'm not going to go in deluxe because I don't think there's enough in deluxe
I think
for
the
me to go.
deluxe, though, like, I
Just
love
for
the acrylic
acrylic?
fish. Like, you got to get the acrylic fish. Look at these guys. See? Don't eat these, but they do look edible, okay?
I don't want to play the game, but I want to back that deluxe because of fish.
Yeah, I would do
You're
something
gonna go from a
wondrous
0
with those
pledge
fish,
to
okay?
an $80 pledge because of the acrylic fish. I'll buy you some acrylic fish.
Where are you going to get acrylic fish at?
I think Broken Egg probably makes them. They make acrylic almost everything. They've got acrylic Warhammer, so they probably have acrylic fish.
I think if you liked the other games, you probably are definitely going to want to get this game because it sounds like they changed the mechanics a little bit, but also kept a lot of the same overtones of the game and everything and what you're doing in it and stuff.
Yeah,
And
I
that
think
they've just made,
improved upon
like
it.
you said, like a better game. You know, like they've drawn upon their knowledge in this, made it better, and then they put in a really cool theme and did really cool things with like the little fishes going to the pools and everything and made it look really nice. It has fantastic art in it. Do I think $80 for the acrylic fish? That seems a little pricey. I mean, they're super cute though.
But $50? I mean, 45. I would
Yeah,
definitely do
45 though. I think it's a good deal. There's actually a lot of great games that are on Kickstarter right now. So like,
Yeah.
I think by the end of this, it's going to be one of those things like, which one are we going to choose out of
Stick
all
with,
of them?
yeah.
Yeah, because like there's just so many good ones. So Dr. Gloryhogg said you would.
I would definitely back this.
And I'm just going to go with a maybe because there's a lot of things I don't like about it, but not because the game is bad. It's just because, like, my own personal, like, oceanic preferences.
But I also feel like you haven't played this game since, like, 2016,
Yeah, no, I haven't. I played
so
some of the evolution stuff, but that was it. And I was like, not, like, I could take it or leave it. It wasn't, like, super exciting for me.
Other times other than that one time?
I played it another time and stuff, but it just wasn't super exciting for me. But who's to say the different mechanics in this and stuff would change my mind? I don't know. So I'm going to just say maybe on it because I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. There's other things I'd like to back.
I'm going to try to convince her.
Moving on, we have Freshwater Fly.
Oh.
This is by Bellwether Games. It's for 1 to 4 players. It lasts about 40 to 90 minutes. People are calling this the new wingspan or something like that.
Yeah,
something ridiculous like that.
The wingspan for fish.
The wingspan for fish. If you could play this and wingspan together at the same time, you'd have like an outdoor adventure where you didn't need to go outdoors. Oh, you could have outdoor day. You could have outdoor game
play
day.
Trekking the parks.
Oh my gosh, you could do trekking the parks, guys.
Catch the fish and watch the birds.
Yeah, and then you could do that. Oh, I just made a game day.
And then you could do Ticket to Ride
to get back home.
No.
Oh my
This is getting out of control. This is getting out of control. This is a game about fish.
Why did they let us do this alone? This is getting ridiculous.
I think Vincent's right. We need to actually herd you this time.
What? No.
That's what Vincent would say.
Vincent is super nice. He's like
I'm
always
with
on
Magenta
my
Lizard
side,
on
okay?
this one. We're back in oceans, right, Magenta Lizard?
So, Freshwater Fly is a push your luck game. Which
dice drafting too.
Yeah, which originally I was like, oh, okay, like this is kind of interesting because you're really, although it's a dice drafting and push your luck game, it has a lot of really interesting mechanics here with this river.
Okay.
And
tell me all of them.
Where you're putting your lure and then where it ends up going, and if you get rocks, like you take rock cards and stuff, and you're trying to like land your lures on certain things per the dice that you have, and then like stuff you've collected, and then when you reel it, you actually like reel them in, which is kind of interesting. Did you see that?
Yeah, no, you actually get to reel them in. You have to use like finesse and stuff to actually get them on your board. You gotta you got the strikes, and you're like, oh, I got a strike.
And so the way I understand it, there's a dice pool, and then everybody's going to be choosing dice out of the pool until it's expended, and then
the higher
that
dice are going to give you
round
like
is
more
over.
Powerful actions. But if you end up with a bunch of low dice, you can actually get like extra turns because of it.
Right. And
so
then
they've got that kind of catch-up mechanic built into it.
They have the strike cards here, which you flip those over to see if like you caught the fish or not, right?
I believe so.
So like the dice give you a chance to get to the strike cards, and then you like flip them over and go, I didn't catch them.
So this one reminds me a lot of Wingspan. Because right away, I'm just not down with it.
You're like,
I'm totally down with ocean, but not just fish by itself.
I like how when I was reading this and like really getting in depth to this, like there's all these words that I didn't know that fishermen used, and I was like, wow, this is like educational.
Well, I feel like this game would be like perfect to play with my buddy Anthony, right? Like
who's like super into fish.
Super fisherman.
Know?
Yeah,
and
he'd be
excited about it.
And I like the board and how kind of
I like the reel as well.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with it. I just don't think the theme was for me because I just don't I don't fish anymore. I haven't fished for years now.
The art is really pretty. These cards with the fish on them, like these are pretty fish. The other one was like scary fish. This is pretty fish. Who knew? Freshwater fish are so pretty, apparently.
Yeah.
And less terrifying, maybe. I don't know. This is debatable, guys. I don't know.
Catfish.
I'm not down with like
big old catfish just grabs you,
things.
takes you under.
You know what? Let's not talk about this, okay?
Giant catfish. Water snakes.
Now, these hatch tokens here that you're trying to collect per the fish cards, right?
Yes.
Like
that's kind of like there's like a little bit of set collection built in with the dice drafting also.
Okay.
It looks interesting. It's one I would definitely like to play. I just don't know if it's a theme that catches me enough that I'm going to want to play like over and over and over and over and over again. But it is interesting. I do want to play it to see how it all actually works out. And I think if you like are even like somewhat casually into fish and you want like kind of one of those games where it's got like that built-in catch-up mechanic, I forget what that's called. Rotella game, something like that. I forget what they call that. Rotella game. It's like Glenmore had the same thing. What did they call Glenmore?
I don't know.
I'm just doing circles over here. Woo.
One of these things. Yeah, like that. All right. I know. While you were talking the entire time, I was just like thinking about this. I want to like this game really, really badly because I really like the real portion of it, and I like how you are drafting the dice and putting it down on something. Like,
It's got a unique sector.
I'm not opposed to rolling dice in a game if you are drafting them.
Right.
Okay? It's a little different. It's like...
Well, like, you were okay with Marco Polo because you were rolling the dice and then picking what to do with them.
Right, exactly. And that's completely different. You know, it gives you, okay, hey, you know, I'm rolling dice. I have chances to do these things. And then if I do have losses, these can be mitigated by different choices I can make. As opposed to just like you roll 3 times and, well, you're stuck with whatever crappy roll you got. You know, like, that's it.
Burn.
So, yeah, I don't think that the dice rolling portion of this is really too, I don't know, like too chancy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's a lot you could do. So once you do have that pool, you're like, all right, I'm going to focus on this round because of the dice rolls in here, you know? So that's really exciting. I like those mechanics. I like the fact that you're hopping your lure around the river and stuff like that. You can go up, down, like, and then down the river and stuff like that.
It seems really thematic.
Like, that's very interesting. Like,
I mean, it's a fishing game. You're gonna feel like you're fishing in a way.
Right. Like, they did a really excellent job with that. I'm really impressed with
I bet you
the
Greg would
mechanics
love
that
this.
they did with this.
He always wears a fisherman's shirt to work every day. Like, he's always wearing like one of those shirts with like the slits in the back for like airflow.
And then I like this action board here a lot, and how the dice is going to manipulate what sort of actions that you have on this, and that you can collect these other little boards. Oops, I'm like messing up all my notes. That you can collect like these other little boards. Where'd they go? I just saw them. Okay, these momentum tiles here and stuff, which are going to give you different things as well. Like, for the theme being a fishing game, which, I mean, kudos to them for thinking out of the box and not doing another Cthulhu game or, you know, flower game apparently right now. Like,
it's spring. You can hear my allergies.
Yeah.
I mean, it's spring.
So kudos to them for like picking something deep out of a box that like I wouldn't have ever thought would be like a game. Like, I would have never gone, yeah, let's play this fishing game, you know?
Right.
But it has me interested enough to look at the mechanics and be like, all right, there's something to all this. Like, although it's about fish, like, this is really interesting. It's not go fish, you know?
Right. It's one.
Although you could say go fish every time like they drop their lure. No.
I'm interested in playing it. I would like to actually play this one, but it's not a theme that it makes me want to just immediately go back. And I'm also comparing it to Oceans. I'd rather have Oceans at this point.
Well, and this is pretty close price-wise to Oceans. This is $49, guys. So, I mean,
all these are not
it's
bad.
It's a $4 difference between them. Yeah, no,
These
this is a really good week this week.
These games are pretty. This is the week of Greg. This is what Greg would love. He loves games under $50. He loves games under $40.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, if I got to pick, which, I mean, you know, you do. You can't back every single thing.
You can back every single thing if you have the money.
Oh, yeah, if you have the money, you could. I don't think you'd want every single thing, though. You'd end up with so much stuff that you just didn't want.
It'd be so exciting, though. It'd be like Christmas every day. You'd be like, oh, my God, my Kickstarters are here. No.
I feel like you'd never play them, ever. You would just have, like, just piles and piles of games that you never get to play.
And don't you talk about my games like that.
Okay.
All right, DrGloryHogg, would you back this?
No, this is a play before I buy.
Play before you buy. If the situation were different, where I didn't have a whole lot of other really interesting games out here, this would definitely be, I'd back this one. Like, as of now, like, if I had the money, I'd definitely back this one along with the other ones that I want to back. Like, because it has really interesting mechanics in it. Like, I think they did a really excellent job with this. I'm really impressed.
That's why I want to play it.
Yeah. I'm looking up who... This one was by
Dennis.
Bellwether Games. I hadn't heard a whole bunch about them.
They've got like 9 under their belt, I believe.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just taking a quick look, guys. Just taking a quick look. Coldwater Crown.
I remember Coldwater Crown.
Mars Open. Oh, the tabletop golf one. I remember that one. That one looked cute. Okay. These guys really, really like these fish. Like, I'm saying, like, this thing with fish here. They're really pushing the fish. They really like the fish games, guys. All right, so I'm going to say this is definitely a high maybe. Like, this probably would come in second place for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because I really like the mechanics in it. Okay? Moving on, we have Blood on the Clocktower.
Bum, 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 bum.
This is by the Pandemonium Institute. It's for 30 to 120 minutes, and this is going to be an $80 game.
Yeah.
Which kind of has me like perplexed as to why it's an $80 game. I'm not sure exactly why.
It's a tough sell. $80 for a social deduction game.
Maybe it's because they were doing like tokens, because they're doing tokens instead of like cards, I think.
Right. Well, but aren't they just like little like cardboard tokens?
It matters what sort of tokens they are, though. You know, I'm actually going to skip past this, guys, because this is like...
It doesn't really show you anything.
It doesn't show you anything about the game. It shows you people playing a game.
This is like a big souped-up version of Werewolf, where you've got like your different roles. You're playing... It's got some things I really like, where you don't get like player elimination. You still interact as like a ghost.
This is like if you took Werewolf and you made it about demons... And then you eliminated player elimination and made every card a different role.
Like 99 different ones or something crazy like that.
Yeah. So like, and okay, you know what though? It does have the narrator do more stuff.
That's the other thing. Yeah,
that's
so
the big
it
thing.
It takes the two biggest downsides of Werewolf.
Which is
when
player
you're dead,
elimination.
You're out, right? Because
yeah.
no one wants to get eaten that first night, and then you're just like, cool, I'm just going to walk away for the next 2 hours while you guys play. And then the narrator doesn't really get to interact, where this one actually the narrator does. Because can't you get drunk in this one too? And so you can't even trust yourself necessarily? Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah, no, you have drunkenness, poisoning, and madness.
Okay.
And I believe that's
some of the stuff that
something
the narrator
the narrator like
so
assigns
when the narrator
stuff.
tells you something, you're not even 100% sure if like what you recall is accurate, because you could be drunk and not know it, or you could
so
be
I'm assuming
mad.
that the narrator has a board with the tokens and who everybody is, and that you get your own token, but the status effects and stuff like that are per the narrator, and then he's going to go on his board, and then he's going to explain. Like, he's going to either lie to you or tell you the truth or not tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then you don't know if you are or not.
Well, exactly. That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're drunk or not.
Right. Which, that's pretty interesting.
So you don't even know if your own information is correct.
Right.
So, yeah, I thought that was I like those two improvements. I like that there's like 100 different roles. So, like, you could potentially never, ever play the same role again.
That's true.
Right? So that's really great. I still don't understand why it's $80, though.
They do have it where... X roles are for beginners and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So it's not just like, wee!
Can you scroll down to, like,
99 different
components?
roles. Have fun. You don't know how
Yeah.
this game works.
'Cause I do really like the improvements to like that kind of general social deduction game that
Well,
you get.
I like how the storyteller does participate more, because although Werewolf is fun, the person who gets to play, or the person who narrates for Werewolf,
isn't
it is
really
not
playing.
fun. It's not fun.
No, you're just facilitating.
It's just, it's boring.
Yeah, to a lesser extent, you're not even like a dungeon master or anything. It's like way, way less.
So, let's see here. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at what those were there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
So that's what the
here's
storyteller
okay,
gets.
so yeah, here's all the tokens
So they get a
here,
fancy
and then
box.
that looks like a book. It looks like a book, and here's the tokens that are assigned to people and stuff. So that's interesting as you go around and stuff. I'm wondering how hard it is to hold on to this box, keep this box from moving around with all those tokens. Like, they should have had something in here with like a grid system or something.
Well, this is the prototype copy. So why don't you keep scrolling down and see if it shows us any more of the actual game.
Sorry, guys. Wait a second, what's this here? Oh, okay. At least you get to read a whole bunch of the different like scenarios and stuff like that they have.
That doesn't have
And
an
then like a
actual
wiki
component
thing.
list.
Shut up and sit down said it's amazing. Or no, they said it's brilliant. Right? That's like an accent. It's brilliant. No? Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. I apologize
She's like this.
in advance. I'm
very
so
tired.
sorry.
She's very tired.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so I don't know if it really gives you a good component list.
Oh, okay, hold on, guys, though. Here's my
got a lot of-
absolute favorite quote right here, right in the left, right here. 10 out of 10 would play sober.
Well, that
But
is
then
pretty
he gave it
solid.
a 9 out of 10.
Huh. Okay. All right, maybe he wasn't sober when he did that.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, huh.
My
Well, this
heart
is really interesting.
My heart was thumping out of my chest. This game sucks you in immediately. I thought it just said, this game sucks. You in immediately. If you get a chance to play, think very carefully about whether you're prepared for an addiction like no other. Wow. Mountain Man really is just really into this game.
Oh, Crimson Caden is just, he's like my quote hero right now. I straight up screenshotted that and giggled about it like later. It's the best comment. What? No. All right. All right.
I smiled. I don't have 30 minutes of laughs for Caden over here.
I do.
Let's just chat about Caden, what Caden's up to. Let's call up Caden and see what's up.
Oh my goodness. He'd probably be great on the show. I mean, as long as he's not sober. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, are we finally getting components?
Well, there's been like components scattered throughout. So
So
you have like little scenario boards and stuff like that, and
guessing
X
you're
amount of
mostly-
players are going to be demons, and like you're trying to protect like the head demon guy, and then you have
Right,
all the other
it's a social
people
deduction game.
that do not want demons in their town because I mean,
I think I guess
sometimes
what
that causes trouble.
I guess what you're paying for really is all of the the work
The
they
box
put into
and
it.
everything
Well,
and stuff too,
like an
right?
RPG, right? Like a book costs almost nothing, but you still pay $40 for an RPG book or something because of the time and effort put into making the story.
Okay, so you have 20 character reference sheets, Trouble Brewing edition box, which is that Giganta box,
Yep.
Trouble Brewing character almanac. So, okay, so you're going to be getting like an almanac with all the scenario sort of things in it. 22 felt backed roll tokens, each one being unique. Okay, now I'm getting it. So, if they have like 22 tokens here, and every single one of them is unique, like that's a lot of weird printing.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, it's only makes sense on the cost basis if you're printing just thousands and thousands.
Yeah, if
of
you're
copies.
printing like a ton of the same stuff, it is easier to print. But since they're making each one individual,
That's probably a lot
makes
of
it a little bit tougher,
And they're
right?
paying
And
for
that
the storytelling.
that box is probably there in the storytelling. Okay.
It looks really cool. The price really surprises me.
Yeah, the price did surprise
because we've
me
got
too.
so many social deduction games that we've gotten for like $30.
Right.
You know,
and
like what was Secret Hitler? That was like $30 or something. I mean, there's a lot of social deduction games you can pick up for like 30 or less.
I'm
feel like.
surprised that they didn't do a like card one, like where they're like, all right, here's our giant, beautiful deluxe edition box, and then if you want to, you can also like instead do these cards.
Right. 'Cause it
You know what
probably
I'm
brings
saying?
the cost down a lot, I would
Yeah,
imagine.
because like I would back this at the card level like super fast just to get a different sort of social deduction game going and stuff because like I like social deduction games and it sounds interesting in the way that the storyteller moderates it and cannot tell you the truth or tell you the
this
truth
is like the
weird stuff
Gloomhaven
happens.
of like of these social deduction games where you just get one and you just play this. Right, I guess that's like the idea. Like, this is the only. If you don't have a social deduction game, you get this one. And this is pretty much the only one you're gonna ever play. Unless
So
you
this
have
is like
friends.
the final social deduction.
Well, I mean, if you've got 100 different roles, and then every time you play, you're playing with different people. You could technically just always play this, and it would always be different.
I like this moon one. This box is pretty. I'm sorry. It's true. Jeez, God.
So at $80, though, would you back it?
I'm gonna have to say I'd try before I buy it. No.
For me, it's just the price. The price is too high for me to back this, based off of what I know about other social deduction games and how often I actually play them. And social deduction games aren't even necessarily my favorite game. They can be great, but it's not the game that I always reach for. I'm not like always like, oh, we've got a group together, let's get this. It's usually like, oh, we've got a really big group together. Well, what games can we fit? And then we grab a social deduction
social
game.
deduction games are actually not super great to play with new players at all. And a lot of times, those who are new to the board game industry and everything, like, get really confused during
They
social
struggle
deduction
sometimes,
games.
yeah.
They're like they don't remember their roles
Well,
or
social deduction is like a weird like board game / RPG like kind of hybrid almost, where like I'd rather just play a board game usually, or if I had the time, a role playing game. So I enjoy social deduction games for what they are, but they're like not like I said, they're not the thing that I run to first thing. It's not the thing I'm going to play with 4 players all the time. I'm gonna instead play like a board game.
Okay, so they really should have done a card deck and like little notepad paper thingies or something like that for this to organize what people were and everything. And I know they were trying to go heavy like role playing with this game, with having the box and like everything looks really beautiful. Like it doesn't look bad. It looks amazing. But I don't know if I can justify paying $80 for a social deduction game.
Right.
Like I want the card edition. When does that come out? I'd be super down if it was cards. That's just cards in a notepad, And the story, like I think paying for the story portion is okay because like you got to pay artists and writers and stuff like that. But I just don't know if like imagine you have like this book thing on your shelf. You're like, hold on, let me get my social deduction game. I don't know, like where would you even put that and stuff,
I mean, it's a big box, just like any other big box, but
yeah, but like social deduction games are usually like this. And then like you take that in your bag and you go play it somewhere. Like this one is like, hold on. Let's go to Mandy's house and play games. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I'm about to take over 3 giant boxes of zeros and go there and see. So I can't say anything. I'm going to literally be walking with a stack like bigger than me. But
well, that's what I'm saying.
You're
like,
not
it's a social deduction game. Like, why would you want to take this gigantic?
You're not going to take that to a bar or something because it's so big.
Yeah, and that's like a great place to play those sort of things because it's a talking game, like.
Right, and with pieces, you really don't want to have those get lost when people are playing and stuff like that.
Not while people are drinking. Yeah.
Yeah. I think we're agreed. I mean, we don't have to harp on it. It's just, it's probably fine if you want to spend the money on it.
I don't think we were harping on it. I think it looks good. I think it looks good. It's interesting, but I just felt like it was. Yeah, I just felt like it was a little too much with.
But we don't want to spend
that portion of
it.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's probably going to be fantastic because it fixes a lot of things that I have an issue with werewolf. I don't know. Or it could be made more chaotic. I don't know.
Right.
All right, Dr. Gloryhogg, would you back that?
Still no.
Still no. I have to say it. It makes me feel good.
Price is just too much for me.
Too much for you. I mean, it does look very pretty. You're
like going to now flip your mind after all of this? Actually, I think I do want to back this at deluxe.
Okay, so overall, if you didn't want to take your gigantic book of stuff out, like you could probably just take those little tiny boxes, right? Like one of those?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty much
like just the tiny boxes and then like the character sheets from that thing or something?
I don't know. I've literally never seen it. I don't know why you're asking me this.
Why didn't they split this up into like different boxes so I could buy like just the one or something? I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and read. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Oh, God.
I don't know anymore. They went off like gangbusters, though, right here. You guys have like 19, or I guess you have 18 days left to decide.
4,000 people were down with it.
I don't know.
That's 4,000 richer people than us. Moving on.
All
right.
Talk
about a game that has like a lot of game for a very small price.
For a very small price. Very small.
Area 1851 Express, which we got to play at Dice Tower West.
Yeah, this is by 524 Labs. It's for 2 to 5 players, and it will last 30 to 45 minutes. This is them taking the Area 1851 theme of the previous games, and
the
then
board game, right?
And then breaking it down into like a really short little card game that is a card drafting card drafting game where you're drafting a card from your hand, then you're passing it around, and you're trying to build like these really interesting items.
Well, I think the hard part about it is you've got
kind
of
like
your
aliens. And
you've
stuff.
got like your base, and then you've got kind of like your 2 add-ons that go into the left or the right of the different sides, right?
Right.
Of your actual base, and you got to figure out like when to draft the base, when to draft the extra sides, if there's enough bases or sides going around, and then you got the added aspects of like.
And you have different bases. So you have like a base with 3 sides and 2, and then 3 and 2 and 1, and like. Sorry. Continue, sir.
And then. Are you gonna keep going, or?
I'm sorry.
No, I just have something actual interesting to say. So
Go
then,
ahead,
as
good.
you're playing it, you've also got to keep track of the different tribes because you've got like the natives, you've got like your cowboys, if you will, and then you got your aliens. And like sometimes you get cards that are more powered up by doing one of each, or all of one, or a mixture of the two. And then some are better if you are using scrap pieces. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it, and there's a lot of play with the different tokens and stuff you get by whenever you actually complete a set and you flip it over and you stash it. Like, you get a lot of different things that you can do, like get access to those cards again, keep a card. You can like just do a bunch of different things. You can do add-ons, take extra turns. There's a lot of different things done with those effect tokens.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, there's 25 effect tokens. I mean, you can see right there. There's at least 5 different ones, and those are ones that happen anytime. Versus the instant ones. There's also instant effects that happen that don't even have tokens because it just happens immediately.
Overall, for this one here, this one is like, has a super, super cute theme to it. It has fantastic looking art, and it's not like it's going to burn your brain to play it. Like, it's a game that you sit down with all of your friends, you hang out, you do some card drafting, you talk, but then it's not so like easy or boring that like it's not exciting to play, you know? You know what I'm saying?
I would say it's probably a harder drafting game than something like a Seven Wonders or a Sushi Go for sure.
Definitely harder than like a Sushi Go and stuff like that for
Yeah.
sure, because you really have to figure out on those bases and stuff like that what you're going to choose, what's around the pool of
'Cause
people
every
and stuff.
card does
and
something
like,
different, so you really got to maximize and try to make a good combo with your 3 different cards, and you're doing that just by your drafting.
yeah.
So you got to draft the right cards at the right time. So
Yeah.
it's definitely a thinky drafting game, I think. It's not like
Right.
you're not going to pass out while playing it, but it's got enough to it that I'm always. It reminds me a lot of like I'm sorry, not Tiny Epic, but Epic Spell Wars, except without like all the profanity, where it's very like tongue in cheek, and you're making these really weird combinations. Like you can make like lead plated underbreeches, and you're like, all right, cool. And like now I've got lead plated underbreeches, or you've got like this fig's nut. And it's like a spoon, like a radioactive fig's nut, and you're like, now that's a weapon I've got now that I can use. I actually really enjoyed this game.
That's
I thought
a
it was
really
lot of
good
fun.
comparison, comparing it to the Epic Spell Wars, because you're right. You have the same sort of drafting in it, where Epic Spell Wars is not a hard game to play at all.
Epic Spell Wars is much easier than this
but
one.
it's interesting. Yeah.
Right.
Epic Spell Wars is easier to play than this one.
For sure.
Yeah, this one, it is harder to complete these things, and sometimes you take like a negative by having to scrap things together to get them off your board and stuff like that. Like,
right. Before the round runs out.
Right. So like, it was an interesting game to draft. Yeah.
Right. It's kind of easy to explain, but there's enough depth that like I could see people kind of like spending a little bit of time on their turn. I was quick, but I play a lot of drafting games. I love drafting games. So like, but I could see like somebody like being like, oh man, what do I want to do? Do I want to use this base or do I want to use this base? Do I want
Well,
to
I
use this? Do I
did.
wanna
So
use
like,
this? Yeah, your turns took forever.
the first. Well, thanks. The first time
Took a
around.
while.
Well, the first time around, I had the cards and I didn't know exactly what to expect or what I should be drafting, because I was like, all right, I'll put down this base. And then I got the next hand. I was like, and there's nothing I can combine with this base. Okay, excellent. So now what do I do?
Right, and you can end up in a situation where you're like, cool, all that's left is bases. But you can
Right,
always scrap,
right.
which is basically flip them over. They don't really give you a ton of points. I think they give you like no points, but it lets you at least score that middle card and do whatever its effect is, or whatever status token you can keep, or whatever points you get. And
Sorry,
so
I'm just going to like
it
yawn
was,
all night.
I really enjoyed this game, actually. This one for me is just an insta-back. Like, 'cause at
Insta-back?
the price point, like it's like $20. The only thing that's going bad with this one is it just hasn't funded yet. And I thought for sure this would already be funded because it's like $20, funny theme. It's a drafting game. It's complex enough that you're going to have fun with it without it being so complex that you couldn't play it with just anybody, really. Like, you should be able to play with anybody. I mean, you'll probably beat them, but because it's complex enough that you can easily beat people if you know what you're doing. But I'm just really shocked that it hasn't funded yet. And it's by the people that made Mintworks and Mint Delivery.
Yeah. It's super cute, guys. It really is. And for $20, I would much rather play this than like the Epic Spell Wars sort of thing, or really like some other like drafting
Kids in a
games
Blender,
and stuff like
I
that.
mean, even like Unstable Unicorns.
Oh well,
Exploding
definitely.
Kittens.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
feel like you get a lot
way
more
better
play
than
out
those.
out of this
way better than those games. Like,
So if you
there's not a
like, if
comparison.
you like that kind of lighter style card play, like I think you could still really enjoy this, but it takes it up. Like there's a little bit more complexity to this one for sure. A lot more replayability.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely something that you could easily introduce to people who haven't played a bunch of these style games before,
Yeah.
and that they will catch on to it because it's easy to look at the icons and go,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean-
okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing and everything. But it's not so simple that you're going to, like, murder yourself throughout
Well,
the game
right,
and be
it's
like,
not so
oh my
simple that you're
god, I
just like,
can't
oh,
get
I'll
out of
just put
here.
down whatever.
Yeah.
You have to think about what you've got and what you
Right.
can actually play and stuff.
Right. And the art is fantastic, guys. Like,
Yeah, you really need
dude,
to
I
make some
had
good
I had like
choices.
this picture of the guy with like a rainbow beard and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, but I made some device with his rainbow beard and like
I
a
liked-
shovel or something.
I liked my
Yeah.
like radioactive spoon that was called like a Fixnit, and it was like it had like an ill temper for some reason. I'm like, wow, it's like a really angry radioactive spoon. And I'm like, I don't know why I have one, but I have one by God, and like I'm
Mhm.
gonna use it.
Well, I think just maybe the reason why this isn't funded is the fact that like with the nodes and everything like that, unless you are drafting it, you don't really know how hard it is to get all those pieces together.
Maybe.
You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good game though. Like I'm 100% in on backing this one. I really liked it.
Yeah, I thought it was really cute too, guys. Like, it's definitely
Yeah, see
something.
this guy, same thing. He's like, yeah, this replaces games like
Sushi Go, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a filler game. I mean, but I could see you playing it like, oh, let's play it again, or oh, let's
Yeah,
play
I
it
mean,
again
because
very
like
easily.
even with Sushi Go, like you're drafting things and like you're like, all right, well I'm gonna collect points from this. The other one, I mean, you have the mechanics of the nodes in there, and
Right.
people don't realize how hard it is to get those nodes together. Like,
Right, definitely. And then
and you don't understand that until you start playing the game, and you're like, well, heck, like I don't have anything that matches anything here. Like,
it's a lot like Epic Spell Wars, where you're like, this card does this, which changes the effect of this card, which just changes the effect of this card, and like, I don't want to play this card because it makes this card not effective, and like, if I play this one now, that means next
well,
round I get
absolutely,
this,
because
and then I can play this, and then we can score out for the end of that round.
I think if you're like using the alien technology, like alien technology is going to give you bonuses with alien technology, and same thing with like the Western technology.
But
you
I
know,
think like the tribe
pairs
one does
getter-
better with
yeah,
like, the
pairs getter with that
multi-
stuff. Yeah, so like each one has its own special sort of affinity to things.
Right.
Yeah, and so adding that complexity there with the nodes and everything like that, it does make the drafting of it the challenging part, even though like it's still just drafting.
Plus,
you know,
it's Weird West, which I love. Weird West games. Games that are like the Old West, but like they're weird for some reason. I love,
yeah, see here,
Deadlands and
Derek
all
knows
that.
what he's talking about right here. Fast, fun, and has a lot of good decisions. That's a good way of
And
saying
Derek
that.
plays. He's like me. He plays a lot of like Shards of Infinity. He
Yeah.
plays a lot of like those deck games, like the deck drafting and deck building games.
Yeah,
so.
having a lot of good decisions is like the perfect way of saying that, because it does. Like that's the challenging part of that game.
Well, I remember like trying to stack up like so that I could dig and get a bunch of stuff, and then at the end, like that last round, I scored like a ton of points by just playing like a bunch of different things that like, oh, I could do this, and that gives me this, and then that gives me that token, which gives me this, and I ended up doing like this crazy kind of combo like that last round to get all my points.
Yeah. Maybe too, when this came out, it just hurt them with like some of the other things that were coming out, you know? And I think a lot of times anymore that some people end up passing over some of the just card games, you know? Because
I
I
can see
feel
that,
like
'cause we tend to
some
kind
of the
of-
card games have really gone downhill where I'm like, oh, I don't even want to look at this thing. But this one, like, is not a like crappy card game. Like, this has nice art, it has interesting mechanics to it. Like, it's not a one and done sort of thing, you know? Like, I mean,
Oh man, you won this one too when we played it. Ugh, never mind. Not backing it. I changed my mind. I was like, man, I thought I won that one, but no, you
no,
did.
I did. I beat everybody
by,
like
like, 7
mercilessly.
points.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
mercilessly.
Mercilessly, it was 62-55.
Mercilessly.
It was
With
the
my
end of the world,
alien
guys.
technology.
It was the end of the world.
And my dude with
7
the
points is
rainbow
one,
beard.
is one combo. That's it. You won by a combo. Congrats.
No, I'm super down with this. It's super cute. Like, guys, why isn't this funded?
For the $22, I actually consider backing more than one
Why
copy
isn't
and
this
giving
funded,
this out
guys?
to out to our friends
Oh,
like John and Colleen and
no.
stuff.
Oh, John and Colleen would definitely like it. Yeah. Yeah, just Colleen.
I mean, if
and
you've
I
got like
Profit.
Magic players in your life, I mean, I could see them definitely enjoying like Magic the Gathering. I could see them enjoying a game like this, or if you know people that like Shards
Well,
of Infinity
absolutely.
or Epic Spell Wars or Sushi Go.
If you like drafting games overall, this is going to be
Seven
your jam
Wonders.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely, because it's like a good drafting game. Like, Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I would say I'd back this. I'd back this for sure.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
like the play
I like to
level.
play in it. I liked playing it, and I think that the kid is gonna like playing it.
Oh yeah, I
The
can't see anybody.
non-gamer is
Yeah,
gonna
your
like
mom would
playing
like
it.
playing
Like,
this.
yeah, this
We
is
could take it
something
over
I
to
pass
play
off
with
to
my
everybody.
dad even. I
Yeah.
think the big thing about this is maybe it's that 17,000 goal, because usually card games are pretty easy to fund. And if this was at that like 9,000, like most card games
Or even
usually
like
are,
that 5,000-ish.
yeah, a lot of them are usually very like low funding.
Well, that's really interesting. I wonder why they.
Do you think it's because of the
Did
tokens?
that.
Because they've got the little wood tokens and stuff in it?
That might be the case because those
maybe they
little
went
those
higher.
little tokens are cute, but they are.
Way more expensive than just
Well,
like a cardboard.
Yeah, they're all made in like little weird shapes and stuff like
Right.
that, which is adorable. Like it fits the game perfectly and it looks good. But yeah, that might have upped the cost on that a little bit, maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know, because I mean, yeah, you've got 400 backers and you're still not funded, and that means they need another 400, which is kind of surprising to me. You would think they'd be backed. They'd be
Yeah,
fully,
well, that's a shame because
unless
like
a bunch of
I'd
people are
really.
in on $1. I mean, I'm not doing the math here, but 8,000 is not enough. I mean, 8,500, 400 backers. It's a lot of backers to get for a card game. Which card games either go like crazy gangbusters or they don't.
Right.
There's no in between.
Well, I think though, like the only really crazy gangbuster card games though are really
The
like
ones that appeal to the casual
exploding
market.
kittens
Yeah.
and then like your unfaithful unicorns or whatever the heck they are.
Unstable unicorns or yeah.
They're probably unfaithful too. I don't know. You can't trust unicorns, so like you don't know what they're doing.
The oatmeal ones, Cards Against Humanity type games.
That's right.
Because
Those ones do.
they are set up more for the casual player. They might only
Right.
have a few games.
Well,
or
and that's where that market
they
kind of
bring it to the bar.
lands. Is
Yeah.
like when you are looking at card games. And this is why regular gamers don't look at card games too often. Is because when you see those card games, you're like, like what is this? What is this? You know,
right, just
like it's
another-
harder to find a really good, just like regular card game that you're gonna play. You know, like
Right.
I'm trying to think of another one that I would play that's just like a deck of cards.
besides shards. But those are deck building games. We've got a few deck building games that we play.
Yeah, I can't think of any off the top of my head that I'm like, yeah, let's
Yeah, 'cause,
take
like,
this card
'cause we have,
game and
like,
go
Treasure
play.
Hunter and stuff, but like that one has different bits, and we don't play that one all the time. Yeah, I don't think there are a bunch of card games that we play just card games by themselves.
Yeah, and I mean we've played some of the
We did when we first started.
more
We don't have,
popular
we don't
ones
play
and
like
stuff,
Flux
but
and
like
Lunacy anymore. Like we
yeah,
used to play those
Lunacy
games.
was good.
And Flux was good for a little while.
Yeah.
But, you know, we kind of moved on to other stuff.
Right,
A little bit more complex, not just speed games.
right, and those are speed games. So this one is actually pretty unique in that area. That it is more like the Epic Spell Wars sort of thing, you know. But I feel like it is better, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's much more accessible to play.
Right. Okay, guys. So I'd back this. DrGloryHogg would back this. You guys should back it too. It's a
I
fantastic
think Greg
game.
would
We got to
honestly
play
back
it.
this. Even though he didn't get to play it, I think he'd back it because of the price point and everything.
Yeah, it is. It is a really good game.
And if for some
guys.
reason it doesn't fund, maybe if it comes back with just cardboard tokens instead of like the little wood
that would be
pieces,
really cool because I would
maybe
really like
we
to
can
see this
drop
funded.
the funding, like
They
the
did a
pledge level.
lot of really good art and everything in this. Like
Yeah.
the cards were hilarious, and that's something that you integrate as you go along. You know, you're like, all right, once you complete your set, read off what it is, and it just makes it so much
Right.
more fun.
Which
you
is
know?
the most exciting part of Epic Spell Wars is reading off your ridiculous like
right. You
it's
have
a frozen
to.
cone of test. I mean, you know,
It's
you
it's
just-
part of it.
But it's always like vulgar stuff. I mean, for the most part, you can't play it
Mm-hmm.
like with your little kids.
Yeah. Or your grandma sometimes, unless your grandma's dirty, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
true.
I mean, there's a lot of dirty grandmas out there, so
Wow.
you know,
No
you know
comment.
how it is. You're
No
the one.
comment.
The grandmas are all like, I'm just saying.
She'd back
I'm just
this.
saying the old ladies love you.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys. Yes, I'd back this. Let's go to our other lovely cams here. Let's get really sad about Greg. There we go, Greg Dixon. We miss you, man. We miss you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I won't.
You'll be at NordCon.
I won't.
Yeah, you're so sad you'll be at NordCon. I'm sorry you're going to another convention.
Yep, going to another convention. Be playing
Oh, so
games
sad.
with Steve Jackson, Andrew Hackard,
I'd rather play with Greg and
Philip
Alex.
Reed, some other Drew
haven't-
Metzger.
I haven't actually played with any of those guys, so I don't know. They're probably just fine.
I don't think I've actually played with them either before. I'm usually
You've
so
usually
busy
just
doing
demoing
things.
the games, right?
Yeah, I'm usually just demoing the games and stuff. But now that I've done more of the media of everything, you know, like I'm there taking pictures, doing live content, taking videos for things and everything. I actually have more time to play games with people because
cool.
I get to take pictures
Right.
of those games and then promote them online. Oh my God. So guys, I totally forgot to tell you. We opened up a Ko-Fi, which we should have like a little thing right there. It's coming up right there. Support us on Ko-Fi, okay? So it's...
Buy us a burrito.
Well, I kept it as the coffee for now because I wasn't sure if everybody would understand the burritos. I mean, you guys will understand the burritos, but just random people going there will be like, dude, like $3 doesn't even pay for a burrito. So here's my reasoning for going with Ko-Fi. It's very simple to set up. It's better than Patreon in the fact that, like, there's not like... With Patreon, you have all of these different tiers, and you have, like, your $3 tier and your $40 tier.
We just want to give you guys stuff. We don't want to make it like a weird thing where you've got to be like...
Right. You got to give us $20 to get this thing. Yeah.
No, we'd rather just give you cool, fun, light stuff
like,
without it being some weird thing.
If you want to donate, that's cool. If you don't want to donate, go there and follow us because I'm going to be doing some cool wallpapers for your phone. So... I love taking pictures of games, and I'm going to translate that because I've taken some really awesome pictures, and I started putting it as, like, backgrounds on my phone and stuff. And I was like, man, this looks so good on your phone. Like, it's just so colorful and everything. Like, because, you know, they're board games. They look amazing. And I was like, man, you know, I should go ahead and give this out to everybody, you know? Like, why wouldn't other people want board games on their phones and stuff like that? So... I'm trying to collect a couple of them up. I think I have like 5 of them I'm going to release right away. And then I'm going to try to build on that like every month where hopefully I'm going to try to add a couple more. These first 5 I'm going to get out though. It's Pirates of Dice. You can actually go on Ko-Fi right now and check them out. Tiny Epic Mechs. We have Grim Masquerade. We have Folded Spaces. And I don't remember what the other one was.
Is it Wingspan?
No, but Wingspan is in the works, guys. You know this lovely picture I have right here? I'm making it into a phone background, and it's going to be amazing looking. Like, they're turning out really good. I'm really happy with them and stuff. But you can go to Ko-Fi, and you don't have to pay anything. You can just, like, get the art once it's posted. That was the other really cool thing about Ko-Fi is the fact that I can post things on there, and you can download them from there. And I don't have to, like, worry about anything. Like, they're just on there, and you go there, and you download them, like, whenever you want. Like, it's not a thing, you know? And then the supported portion of it, it starts at, like, $3, and you can do whatever multiples you want, or you can do just $3, whatever, it doesn't matter. And there's also commissions on there. So I have ad space set up. I'm so excited about the ad space, guys, okay? And, like, for the most ridiculous reason ever. Did I talk to you about the ad space at all? From the look on your face, I'm guessing not. So, every week during our show, we're going to have an ad that, as you can see here, we have ads here, but there's a little space right there. And your ad can go there. And I'm not talking about, like, game companies. I'm talking about ridiculous stuff that you guys want put there within reason. Within reason.
Yeah, it's got to go through the board of approval first.
It can't be, like, dirty or anything because we want everybody to watch this show.
It can be a double entendre, maybe.
It can be a picture of how awesome your cat is. Or it can be, like, a really funny knock-knock joke or, like, a ridiculous pun. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to talk about...
A picture of your grandma.
Right. We're going to talk about whoever's ad is here and their ad space and everything like that. So I thought that would be a really fun way to promote our show, like... in kind of like the theme that it is.
And our weird fans, because we know you got to be weird.
Right. We're all a little weird, okay? We're all a little weird
and
here.
a little tired.
That's true. Are you trying to say I'm super tired?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep, you're getting weird. All right, wrap it up, princess.
Well, I'm just telling people about all the cool stuff we're going to do.
Come check it out. They will be able to check it out by just checking it out.
Right. But we're also going to do, like, behind-the-scenes stuff.
Wrap it up. We'll see you guys later. NordCon.